From the farmers and ranchers of Farm Bureau, this is Farm Weekend. The Biden administration announced steep tariff increases on some Chinese imported goods. Chad Smith has more on the potential retaliation concerns.
The Biden administration is continuing current tariffs and adding new ones. Dave Salmonson, Senior Director of Government Affairs with the American Farm Bureau Federation, says that the increases are primarily tech-focused.
Starting off with electric vehicles. Now, we don't hardly import any Chinese electric vehicles, and there's currently a 27.5% tariff, but that will rise to 102.5%. Semiconductors, solar cells, those tariffs are going to double to 50%. Steel and aluminum will go from 7.5% to 25%.
He says there are a couple of reasons the administration made the move. One is a requirement the tariffs get reviewed every 4 to 5 years.
So the Trade Rep's office has been doing this review and decided that looking at it all, it would continue some as they are, and it was going to increase some. Another thing that's going on right now, China's economy isn't doing well, and they're trying to ramp up their economy by putting a real push on exports. So there is a great opportunity for China to flood the world with all kinds of products.
While the tariffs likely won't take effect until fall, Salmonson talks about the possibility of retaliation against U.S. agricultural exports to China.
As a result of this, could there be rising tariffs on the part of China to our exports? Currently, some products, think of U.S. pork, still faces higher tariffs than we had before. Would they reimpose those on other products? That's our concern. Or could they slow down buying?
Chad Smith, Washington.
Energy Information Resources. More on that when we come back.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, just as you do ride-alongs to inspect your fields and cattle, make sure you do the same for your mental well-being. Take time to check in with yourself and your neighbors. And if you find yourself in a crisis, remember, there's immediate help available at 988. Mental health is just as vital as the health of your farm. Let's prioritize it together. This message brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau and Kansas Farmers Union.
The Kansas Farm Bureau Legal Foundation has added some new energy resources to its website. The first resource is a general energy update. It provides information about the exponential growth in transmission with some discussion about the Grain Belt Express. The second resource is aimed at providing farmers and ranchers guidance about possible solar regulation in their counties. These and all of our other renewable energy resources can be found on the Legal Foundation's website at www.kfb.org/legalfoundation and clicking on the Legal Resources button. The Kansas Department of Agriculture's Division of Animal Health is hosting multiple informational discussions around the state. For dates, locations, times of the sessions, and registration information, go to agriculture.ks.gov/animal health outreach. Next, Insight with Greg Deering.
Hey, farmers and ranchers, in the hustle of the day, don't forget to tend to your own well-being. Just like you check on your cattle and crops, take a moment to check in with yourself and your neighbors. Mental health is just as crucial as the health of your farm. So let's look out for each other. Reach out, lend an ear, and remember, it's okay to ask for help. This message brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau and Kansas Farmers Union.
Now, Insight with Greg Deering.
The middle of May has filled weekends with high school graduation ceremonies across the state. My calendar was no exception, with a niece and nephew donning caps and gowns to cross a makeshift stage and receive their diplomas. I keep telling myself it wasn't that long ago when I was in those same shoes, but the world changes fast. This was driven home recently when I attended a showcase for Kansas State University's Institute for Digital Agriculture and Advanced Analytics, and saw how quickly the world of agriculture is changing, like estimating the yield of a soybean field a month prior to harvest. At another station, we saw how data can be quickly processed to make better decisions on when to make more efficient fertilizer applications. These advancements seem simple compared to the row-sized robot that could detect pest and apply pesticide to individual corn stalks. Another demonstration showed how researchers can accurately track the location of individual seeds during planting. It's easy to see an agricultural future where farmers aren't working at the acre level, but are caring for individual plants in the field. The showcase was a good reminder that learning doesn't end with a diploma.
Join us next weekend for another edition of Farm Weekend from Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture.